Why, hello there, everyone. I haven't seen your lovely faces since the last time we spoke. What was it again? Ah, right here. The woodcutter's wife. That's what it was. A spooky tale of someone's paranoid wife lobbing off the head of a poor traveling mage. Truly tragic. And so she was cursed to burn at dawn's first light, and to wander the worlds of Tamriel alone past her mortal life. Truly tragic, and sort of a karma deal as well. Justice for the mage, I'd say. On a more positive note, however, today we will be reading what many people view as a sequel to The Woodcutter's Wife. And let me once again offer you some strong ale by the fire, as me, the narrator, pushes you into the story of the cabin in the woods. Late one night, a few seasons ago, a soldier was returning home after several bloody battles. He decided that he would save some gold and went to cross the pine forest on foot. The first day of his journey was rather uneventful. The soldier struck to the main path and kept a brisk pace. When it started getting dark, he set up his bedroll, built a small fire, and cooked some rabbit that he had caught. A fine day indeed, he thought to himself as he fell asleep. Partway through the evening, the soldier was woken up by soft sobbing in the distance. He grabbed his sword, assuming it to be a bandit's trick, but pretended to sleep so that he could get the jump on them. After a few minutes, the sobbing started moving away from his camp until he could no longer hear it, and for the rest of the night he slept with one eye open. Day 2. The soldier awoken with what rotten sleep he could catch, and started off through the forest at a quicker pace. He intended to put distance between himself and whatever he had heard last night. As the day went on, it began to rain heavily, so the soldier built himself a shelter for the evening, so that he could remain dry as he slept. It took him a little longer to fall asleep, with thoughts of the previous night in mind, but eventually he slept. This time he awoke to sobbing that sounded like it was right outside his shelter. The soldier grabbed his sword and crawled out of the shelter. In front of the fire, he saw the back of a ghostly woman sobbing into her hands. The soldier mustered his courage and asked her what was wrong. There was no answer given. He began to slowly approach, but before he could reach her, she turned and screamed at him. The ghostly woman raised an axe and ran at the soldier, disappearing before she made contact. The soldier took off into the night, with just his sword in his hand. He ran until the first light of dawn, where he started down the road again, as fast as he could move. The third day was bright and sunny, but the soldier remained rattled and sleepless, and so he didn't even notice. He moved as fast as he could, trying to get through the forest before nightfall. As darkness began to fall, he saw a cabin just off the road and thought to himself it would be a good place to bunker down for the night. After arriving at the cabin, he spent some time blocking the doors and the windows so that nothing would get inside. Despite his preparations, he could not sleep. He sat in what used to be the cabin's bedroom, staring at the barricaded door, shaking. Eventually, he could keep his eyes open no longer and fell asleep. This time, he awoke to laughing on the other side of the barricaded door. It sounded like the woman before, but he refused to believe it was her. The soldier burst through the door to find the ghostly woman from the night before, staring at the ground, laughing hysterically with axe in hand. He began to recklessly attack the ghostly woman, but he felt his strikes were less effective. He used a scroll of fireball, which drew a scream from her, and she exploded, disappearing. The ordeal was over. The ghost was gone. The soldier slept well that night, and the next day made excellent distance through the woods. As the sun began to set, he came out the other side of the forest and looked back, remembering the days before. As he turned and started walking away from the woods, he could swear he could hear the ones sobbing again. The end. Well, I can attest that using fireball spells onto ghosts is usually quite effective. So good thinking by the soldier. Perhaps the scroll was defect, however, and so the firepower wasn't quite there. Hard to tell. Now, is this the same woman from the previous story of the woodcutter's wife? Seems likely. How far between are the timelines of these two stories, if so? I have no idea. Moral of the story. If ghosts attack you, fireball. If cursed wives appear, fireball. If you do not like, comment, and subscribe to this video, double fireball. Goodbye for now then. Please do tell if there are more books out there that you would like for me to cover. What's that? Comment down below? Just say it to my face, why don't you? Tata.